one would be wondering why has not been taking these free kicks for Arsenal all the past 2 seasons. And of course, he chose to do it. Arsenal has scored direct free kick, last in 2021, I think, 4 years. That tells you how special what Declan Rice has done today is for Arsenal. Declan Rice, big up Rice. I mean, Moyes said last week that anytime he sees Arsenal fans, he tells them that they are still owing him 50 million. Declan Rice is not 105. That is 150 million player. And today, I think...
Watch Tranzeet TV right now.
Atochukwu Michael, keep watching Tranzeet TV.
Tranzeet TV, the question as usual is, were you not entertained? That's the question. I'm sure you were. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you enjoyed this one. Whether you're an Arsenal fan or not, we're going to give you a few things to learn on this one. But the thing is, if you know Real Madrid very well, if you have been watching Madrid this season, if you know Arsenal, know their history very well, I'm not sure, and you understand football, you will not be surprised about this one. A lot of people were laughing when Arsenal fans said that they prefer to play Madrid instead of Atletico Madrid when that fixture came out. And if you also know that Real Madrid that Arsenal is the only team that Madrid has never beaten in England, and that the last time Arsenal met Real Madrid in the Champions in 2006, and they went all the way to the finals, the Arsenal also went there with a makeshift defense of Senderos and Silvestri. So when you put these things together, you understand that this result tonight shouldn't be a surprise or was a possibility. So we're going to look at this one. Before we go ahead and do that, I'm going to let you know, we'll talk about, there are so many talking points in this one, but this video is just to give you the reason why this result tonight is not supposed to be a surprise to you. What Arteta did, the secret and the signs that showed that this result was going to be a possibility today. From how Arsenal put the last 2 games to the setup of Arsenal, then you go into, I'm going to talk about Thomas Partey and Bukayo Saka partnership. There is also Real Madrid, their attitude, their setup, and their behavior and the way they have been behaving this season. And of course, we'll talk about isolation of players by Arsenal. Then if we're not going to finish this one, we're not talking about, we'll give you a bonus of speaking about 3 players in the Arsenal squad today that this win must go to. So before we do that, don't forget to subscribe if you have not done so. Hit the like button and please, 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 please let me know what do you think about this game? What do you think about this fixture? Is it done and dusted? Quickly, let's go into it. First one, Arteta is a very strategic coach that a lot of people say that he overthinks games, and he does. He really, really thinks games. And I've seen some things about Arteta. He prepares ahead for games. If you have watched the way Arsenal have played the last 2 games in EPL, you will know that they were conserving energy and their mind and the mentality and everything for this game. And the kind of energy that Arsenal came in today, the kind of mentality monster that they had today, the mentality they had today into this game, the freshness and the clarity in the head of the player on how to approach this game, you will know that it was in the past 2-3 weeks, all they have been doing is prepare for this match, and they got the result. And that's also showed in their setup. Which takes me to the second point. The setup of Arsenal today didn't look like a team that wanted to just manage and just find a way to stay in the fixture or maybe get a draw or one win lead. They were brave in their approach. They went toe-to-toe with Real Madrid, played high line, pressed Real Madrid in their own half, created chances, were brave and kept going. They never looked back. Yes, it was a little bit slow in the first half, but once they came out from the second half, it was all about Arsenal. And all the deficiencies in Madrid team this season, we have seen them so many times this season anyways. We are all exposed. And Madrid had no answer. There was just no sign that Madrid was going to come back to this one. And all you needed to do, what would have happened today was Arsenal blaming themselves for not winning this game and winning it handsomely because they had the opportunities. And this takes me to Real Madrid. If you have watched Madrid in the last 3-4 seasons, I know somehow, this is one thing with football, there is no truth in football. Once you get a result, everything goes to you. Real Madrid have been like this for the past 3 seasons in Champions League, though they have been winning it. But if you remember last season's final against Dortmund, Dortmund had a chance to score at least 3 goals in the first half, another 2 earlier on in the second half before Madrid came back to it and won it. And of course, everybody forgot all that happened in that game prior to Madrid goals. The same thing this season. If you also remember, Real Madrid almost didn't qualify for knockout stages in this competition. And when they qualified, they had exactly the same thing. And when these things happen, when teams are not clinical and you come back and score, people say it's mentality. And this is what I don't like, because Madrid have really been cheating football the last 2-3 seasons in Champions League, because they have not, for me, they've not deserved it. The only reason why they kept winning was because teams were not clinical. It's not like teams did not have chances against them. I mean, if you score 3 or 4 goals in first half against a team, what's there left to do? And they just have moment players. They have mentality. They have this. Antonio spoke about it in his pre-game interview, that they have that confidence in themselves, and that was all about it. No matter how bad the games were going, as long as they were not conceding goals, they kept going. And because they had players who, on their day, at their moment, one-on-one with opportunity, they can turn games around. That is what has been happening for Real Madrid. No doubt, huge respect for what Don Carlo has achieved. But if you look at it, if you really break Real Madrid down in the last 2 seasons, you will know that this team has issues. For a 40-year-old Luka Modric to start for Real Madrid in a midfield of a horse of Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, and Odegaard, you always knew that Madrid was going to struggle. There was no way. Camavinga, as good as he is, he's not a very pacey midfielder. He doesn't get around the pitch quickly as much. He is as well technical, but there was no way Madrid was going to win that battle in the midfield. And when you take Valverde to the right side of the defense, and he has the pace of Martinelli to contend with, he's not going to help the midfield. And this is one of the reasons why Madrid suffered today. Jude Bellingham had to help out on the left side because of Saka. So that midfield was all there for Partey and Declan Rice to take, and that's what happened today. So Madrid, this has been a long time coming. There is no surprise about this result in any way. Over the weekend, I told one of my mates that I'm not worried about this game. I told the woman as well, I'm not worried about this game at all. There are only 2 things that can happen. Arsenal will win and win well, or they will miss their chances that Madrid will just take their own, and the same story. But again, today, football decided to let the better team win, and that's what we saw. And Madrid has been getting away. This team, since they signed Mbappe, they don't have structure, and there's no balance in that team. Just like Arsenal, Madrid does not have a striker. Mbappe, for me, is not a 9. He plays from the left side. But they have been trying to find a way to accommodate him and Vinicius Junior in the team. And I was telling somebody this morning, Vinicius Junior has scored about, I think, 5 or 6 goals all season. So I wasn't worried about Vinicius Junior as well. So if you break these things down, if you look at some of these factors, you will not be surprised about this result today. And Arsenal is a team that are very, very, very detailed. Arteta details preparation for games, and I'm sure they have looked over and over and over Real Madrid, and they could see their weaknesses, and they just exploited. The only difference today was Arsenal. That was the only question: are they going to be able to take their chances when they come their way? And today, they didn't do it. Arsenal would, and if you watch the interview after the game, Jude Bellingham said it, that they even lucky to go home with just 3 goals deficit, because Arsenal created more than 10 chances to that. So they have scored like 6, and that would have just ended up the competition. And another talking point right there is, I've said it all season, Arsenal is built for Europe, because teams in Europe give them more spaces. And if you allow Arsenal space behind you, around you, in the midfield and the defense, they have what it takes to exploit it. The reason why it is a little bit difficult for them in EPL, we know about officiating, we know about teams playing low blocks. And Madrid was not going to play that kind of low block. They play on a transition and counter, but they're not going to like really play real full-time low block. And that's what Arsenal thrive on. If you open those spaces, they will exploit it. And another thing Arsenal did very well today, and this is the main reason why Madrid was in trouble and Arsenal won this game, was Arteta managed to isolate the defenders one-on-one with Arsenal wingers. Saka had a field day with Alaba. Martinelli, with all the pace of Valverde, had one-on-ones. And once you do this, and this is not a surprise because Madrid is a team that thrives on pride. They're not going to double team players all around the pitch. And it's not in their habit. They don't just do it. They can't do it. Madrid are not disciplined when it comes to defensive situations in their games. And when you now add it with Modric starting the game, it's going to be a lot of work for Camavinga. And that's what happened today. Arsenal managed to isolate these players. But one key thing, I don't know, this is one very important thing I understood about Arsenal, is people think that Odegaard and Saka have this partnership that helps Arsenal. The key partnership in that team is Thomas Partey and Bukayo Saka. These two players, if you have not noticed this today, go and start watching them. There is something about Partey and Saka that when he clicks, Arsenal is unplayable. When all this while that Saka has been injured, Partey has been playing a little deeper. But once Saka returned, go and watch the clips of this game and the last two games. Once Saka comes in, Partey plays a little bit more advanced on the pitch. These two players have a very solid chemistry. And each time two of them are on it, forget it. Arsenal is unplayable. Odegaard does his thing, but go and watch back Partey and Bukayo Saka, their partnership. And of course, we're going to end this video talking about the key players today. First of all, I raised my hands up for Kivio. I was very critical about him the last game. And if there was any player I was worried about coming to this game, it was Kivio, because I don't feel that he plays 90 minutes of football anytime with full concentration without errors. And sometimes going to this game, I felt that it could be tight because Arsenal might not take their chances. And if it comes to 1-0 lead or 0-0, Kivio could make one of those mistakes that could set Arsenal up for a loss or a draw. So, but today he had a clean performance and my hands up for him. Declan Rice, we can't talk much about him. You already know the quality we have in him, but the way he takes corner kicks for Arsenal, one would be wondering why has not been taking these free kicks for Arsenal all the past 2 seasons. And of course, he chose to do it. Arsenal scored direct free kick, last in 2021, I think, 4 years. That tells you how special what Declan Rice has done today is for Arsenal. Declan Rice, big up Rice. I mean, Moyes said last week that anytime he sees Arsenal fans, he tells them that they are still owing him 50 million. Declan Rice is not 105. That is 150 million player. And today, I think that question was answered. Then, of course, Bukayo Saka. Star boy Saka. Anytime, any day. They asked him in the pre-game interview, he said there's only one way to find out how ready and how serious he is about this game, and that is by watching the game today. And boy, did he answer that question. Mikel Merino. Mikel Merino, 9 goals now in the last 2-3 months, became the striker for Arsenal. I don't know what else to say. I don't know where to put this one in outcome. Week in, week out, this guy is doing it. And you can only give credit to Mikel Arteta. This young man, people can talk the talk, say what they want to say about Arteta. He has continued to prove people wrong. We know why Arteta has not won trophies for us now. It's not because of Arteta. We know the reason why. And I think Arteta keeps and continues to shut people up. The board should now go ahead and complete this team. Arsenal had the habit of always building their teams and leaving out 2-3 pieces to complete it. Complete this team. Leave this entire squad. Don't sell nobody. No key member. Partey, Jorginho, Leandro Trossard. Keep everybody. Add 2 a striker and a winger to this team, and we go again next season. Let me know what you think. What do you think was the secret to this win today for Arsenal? And I'll see you again next time. Ciao.